teacher KVL Pravina from Anakapalli district. Okay, many of us have pets. What are those? Those are cats, dogs, somewhere rabbits like that. Is it? But how it would be if we have an elephant as our pet? Can we tame an elephant? Here in this lesson, bringing up Kari, we are going to know about a boy who has an elephant as his pet and what he is teaching to his elephant and how the elephant behaves like, etc. Now let's have an overview of the lesson bringing up Kari. The lesson is basically divided into three parts. Those are before you read, reading comprehension, and comprehension check. Let's switch on to the learning objectives of this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the setting of the story bringing up Kari and how it impacts the life of Kari the elephant. State the different commands that Kari learns and the time taken for him to learn them. Recognize the moral values that can be learned from the story bringing up Kari, such as the importance of friendship, honesty, and learning from mistakes. Describe the relationship between the author and Kari and how it develops throughout the story. Summarize the event where Kari saves the life of the drowning boy and the role played by Kari in this event. Express the significance of the master call to an elephant and how it helps in saving the life of the master. Explain the importance of reading independently with interest, understanding, and enjoyment and how it can be achieved by sharing and confirming responses and appreciation through discussions and questions with teachers and peer groups. Let's move on to the first part of the lesson. Kari, a 5-month-old baby elephant, lives and grows up with his 9-year-old friend and keeper. Kari, the elephant was 5 months old when he was given to me to take care of. I was 9 years old and I could reach his back if I stood on tiptoe. He seemed to remain that high for nearly 2 years. We grew together. That is probably why I never found out just how tall he was. He lived in a pavilion under a thatched roof which rested on thick tree stumps so that it couldn't fall in when Kari bumped against the poles as he moved about. Kari doesn't eat much, just about 16 kilograms of delicious twigs a day. One of the first things Kari did was to save the life of a boy. Kari did not eat much, but he nevertheless needed 40 pounds of twigs a day to chew and play with. Every day I used to take him to the river in the morning for his bath. He would lie down on the sandbank while I rubbed him with the clean sand of the river for an hour. After that, he would lie in the water for a long time. On coming out, his skin would be shining like ebony, and he would squeal with pleasure as I rubbed water down his back. Then I would take him by the ear because that is the easiest way to lead an elephant and leave him on the edge of the jungle when I went into the forest to get some luscious twigs for his dinner. One has to have a very sharp hatchet to cut down these twigs. It takes half an hour to sharpen the hatchet because if a twig is mutilated, an elephant will not touch it. It was not an easy job to get twigs and saplings for Kari. I had to climb all kinds of trees to get the most delicate and tender twigs. As he was very fond of the young branches of the banyan tree, which grows like a cathedral of leaves and branches, I was gathering some. One spring day in March, when I suddenly heard Kari calling to me in the distance. As he was still very young, the call was more like that of a baby than an elephant. I thought somebody was hurting him, so I came down from my tree and ran very fast to the edge of the forest where I had left him, but he was not there. I looked all over, but I couldn't find him. I went near the edge of the water and I saw a black something struggling above its surface. Then it rose higher and it was the trunk of my elephant. I thought he was drowning. I was helpless because I couldn't jump into the water and save the 400 pounds of him since he was much higher than I. But I saw his back rise above the water, and the moment he caught my eye, he began to trumpet and struggle up to the shore. Then, still trumpeting, he pushed me into the water, and as I fell into the stream, I saw a boy lying flat on the bottom of the river. He had not altogether touched bottom, but was somewhat afloat. I came to the surface of the water to take my breath, and there Kari was standing, his feet planted in the sandbank, and his trunk stretched out like a hand waiting for mine. I dived down again and pulled the body of the drowning boy to the surface, but not being a good swimmer, I couldn't swim ashore, and the slow current was already dragging me down. Seeing us drift by in the current, Kari, who was usually slow and ponderous, suddenly darted down like a hawk and came halfway into the water, where I saw him stretch out his trunk again. I raised up my hand to catch it and it slipped. I found myself going under the water again. But this time I found that the water was not very deep. So I sank to the bottom of the river and doubled my feet under me and then suddenly kicked the river bed and so shot upwards like an arrow. In spite of the fact that I was holding the drowning boy with my hand, as my body rose above the water, I felt a lasso around my neck. This frightened me. I thought some water animal was going to swallow me. I heard Curry squealing, and I knew it was his trunk about my neck. He pulled us both ashore. Let's check our comprehension here. Comprehension 1 check. Where did Kari live? In a house, in a pavilion, in a kennel. Which is the correct answer? Yes, the correct answer is in a pavilion. Congratulations, dear children. Question number 2. What is the easiest way to lead an elephant? A. Take him by the neck. B. Take him by the trunk. C. Take him by the ear. Yes, you are correct. C is the correct option. Take him by the ear. Congrats, dear. Question number 3. Where did the boy find the elephant? Option A. Near the edge of the water. B. Near the edge of the forest. C. On the way to the home. The exact answer is option A. Near the edge of the water. Good recall, children. I'm appreciating you. The last question in Comprehension 1 is, who pushed the boy into the water? Option A. Another boy. B. He by himself. C. Kari. Good children, you are absolutely correct. The answer is he by himself. Let's move to Comprehension 2. Comprehension 2. Kari was like a baby. He was to be trained to be good, and if you did not tell him when he was naughty, he was up to more mischief than ever. For instance, one day somebody gave him some bananas to eat. Very soon, he developed a great love for ripe bananas. We used to keep large plates of fruit on a table near a window in the dining room. One day, all the bananas on the table disappeared, and my family blamed the servants for eating all the fruit in the house. A few days later, the fruit disappeared again. This time, the blame was put on me, and I knew I had not done it. It made me very angry with my parents and the servants, for I was sure they had taken all the fruit. The next time the fruit disappeared, I found a banana all smashed up in Kari's pavilion. This surprised me very much, for I had never seen fruit there, and as you know, he had always lived on twigs. Next day, while I was sitting in the dining room wondering whether I should take some fruit from the table without my parents' permission, a long black thing, very much like a snake, suddenly came through the window and disappeared with all the bananas. I was very much frightened because I had never seen snakes eat bananas, and I thought it must be a terrible snake that would sneak in and take fruit. I crept out of the room and, with great fear in my heart, ran out of the house, feeling sure that the snake would come back into the house, eat all the fruit, and kill all of us. As I went out, I saw Kari's back disappearing in the direction of the pavilion. I was so frightened that I wanted his company to cheer me up. I ran after him into the pavilion and I found him there eating bananas. I stood still in astonishment. The bananas were lying strewn all around him. He stretched out his trunk and reached for one far away from where he was standing. That instant, an alien hand trunk looked like a black snake, and I realized that Kari was the thief. I went to him, pulled him out by the ear, and joyously showed my parents that it was Kari and not I that had eaten all the fruit these many weeks. Then I scolded him, for elephants understand words as well as children. And I said to him, "Next time I see you stealing fruit, you will be wiped." He knew that we were all angry with him, even the servants. His pride was so injured that he never stole anything from the dining room. And from then on, if anybody gave him any fruit, he always squealed as if to thank them. An elephant is willing to be punished for having done wrong, but if you punish him without any reason, he'll remember it and pay you back in your own coin. Let's check comprehension 2. Question number 1. What did Kari love to eat? Option A, leaves, B, branches, C, bananas. Yeah, you are correct, children. The answer is option C, bananas. Question number 2. Who was the banana thief? Option A, the boy, B, Kari, C, servants. Yes, children, you are correct. The answer is B, Kari. You remember the story very well. Question number 3. The boy assumed the thief of the bananas. Option A big snake, B, a man, C, an elephant. Correct, children. The answer is option A, a big snake. Let's move to comprehension 3. An elephant must be taught when to sit down, when to walk, when to go fast, and when to go slow. You teach him these things as you teach a child. If you say that and pull him by the ear, he'll gradually learn to sit down. Similarly, if you say Mali and pull his trunk forward, he'll gradually learn that it is the signal to walk. Kari learned Mali after 3 lessons, but it took him 3 weeks to learn that. He was no good at sitting down. And do you know why an elephant should be taught to sit down? Because he grows taller and taller than you, who take care of him. So that when he is 2 or 3 years old, you can only reach his back with a ladder. It is therefore better to teach him to sit down by saying that, so that you can climb up on his back, for who would want to carry a ladder around all the time? The most difficult thing to teach an elephant is the master call. He generally takes 5 years to learn it properly. The master call is a strange hissing, howling sound as if a snake and a tiger were fighting each other, and you have to make that kind of noise in his ear. And do you know what you expect an elephant to do when you give him the master call? If you are lost in the jungle and there is no way out and everything is black except the stars above, you dare not stay very long anywhere. The only thing to do then is to give the master call, and at once the elephant pulls down the tree in front of him with his trunk. This frightens all the animals away. As the tree comes crashing down, monkeys wake from their sleep and run from branch to branch. You can see them in the moonlight. You can almost see the stags running in all directions below. You can hear the growl of the tiger in the distance. Even he is frightened, then the elephant pulls down the next tree and the next and the next. Soon you'll find that he has made a road right through the jungle straight to your house. Let's check here Comprehension 3. Comprehension 3 check. Question number 1. What is the signal word to make an elephant walk? Option A, that. B, Mali. C, back. Yes, children, the correct answer is option B, Mali. Congratulations. Question number 2. What's the word to make an elephant sit? A, sit. B, that. C, Mali. Exactly. The correct option is B, that. Good. Question number 3. When do one give an elephant the master call? Option A, when we are cheerful. B, when we lost in jungle and there is no way out. C, when we are in anger. Perfect, children. The right answer is option B, when we lost in jungle and there is no way out. Question number 4. How much time Kari took to learn master call? Option A, 2 years. B, 5 months. C, 5 years. Clear understanding. Exactly. The answer is option C, 5 years. Question number 5. Did Kari control by himself from stealing bananas from the dining room? Option A, yes. Option B, no. Option C, not yet. Very good. Correct answer. He could control by himself. The correct option is A. Yes. Question number 6. Why Kari was compared with a baby? Option A. Kari was very young and innocent like a baby. Option B. He behaves like a baby. Option C. He was very small. Yes, the answer is option A. Kari was very young and innocent like a baby. Question number 7. How could we know that Kari was helpful? Option A. Because it was helpful. Option B. Because he helped a boy who was drowning in the river. Option C. He saved a tiger from river. Very good, children. The correct answer is option B. Because he helped a boy who was drowning in the river. Congratulations. Did Kari enjoy his morning bath in the river? Give a reason for your answer. Exercise. Answer the following questions. Question number 1. The enclosure in which Kari lived had a thatched roof that lay on thick tree stumps. Examine the illustration of Kari's pavilion on page 8 and say why it was built that way. Number 2. Finding good twigs for Kari took a long time. Why? Question number 3. Why did Kari push his friend into the stream? Question number 4. Kari was like a baby. What are the main points of comparison? Question number 5. Kari helped himself to take all the bananas in the house without anyone noticing it. How did he do it? Question number 6. Kari learnt the commands to sit and to walk. What were the instructions for each command? Question number 7. What is the master call? Why is it the most important signal for an elephant to learn? Now, let's know about the author of this story. Summary of the story. Kari, an elephant, was given to the author to take for at a young age, and they lived together for nearly 2 years. They lived in a pavilion under a thatched roof, and Kari needed 40 pounds of twigs daily for chewing and playing. The author would take Kari to the river for his bath and rub him with the clean sand for an hour. He would then lie in the water for a long time, shining like ebony. To get twigs and saplings for Kari, the author had to climb various trees. One spring day, Kari called to the author, and he thought someone was hurting him. He ran to the edge of the forest, but he couldn't find him. He saw a black thing struggling above its surface, which was the trunk of his elephant. He thought he was drowning, but he saw his back rise above the water and began to trumpet. He pushed the other into the water, and he saw a boy lying flat on the bottom of the river. The other pulled the drowning boy to the surface, but the slow current dragging him down made it difficult for the other to swim. Kari, who was usually slow and ponderous, suddenly darted down like a hawk and came halfway into the water. The other caught the trunk of the drowning boy and slipped. He sank to the bottom of the river and kicked the riverbed, causing the other to feel a lasso around his neck. He pulled the other and the boy ashore. Kari was like a baby, and he needed to be trained to be good. He developed a love for ripe bananas, and the other's family blamed the servants for eating all the fruit in the house. Name of the poet: Dhan Gopal Mukherjee, from Kari the Elephant. He is probably the first popular Indian writer in English. He won the American Library Association's Newbery Medal for his children's book Gay Neck, the story of a pigeon. Now let's know a famous quotation of Dhan Gopal Mukherjee. No beast of prey can kill its victim without frightening him first. In fact, no animal perishes until its destroyer strikes terror into its heart. To put it succinctly, an animal's fear kills it before its enemy gives it the final blow. Dhan Gopal Mukherjee. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy learning.